Hello everyone, I'm Brock, Curly Man behind Curly Man's Comics. Today, I'm going to be going over my top 10 anti-heroes. Before I dive into that, I want to ask you to like and subscribe so you'll be ready to check out the rest of my videos. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so at number 10 we have Rorschach from the Watchmen series. And basically he's a character that wears a dirty sock on his face and kills a bunch of people.
I'm kidding!
He is a guy that's an anti-hero, kind of vigilante person. He had a dark past, so now he's taking out his anger by killing a bunch of bad people. And he really doesn't give any shit. If someone is coming at him or he thinks they're a bad guy, he's going to kill them with no remorse. And I really enjoyed this character. I didn't enjoy the comic so much. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me about that because it's seen as one of the greatest comics of all time. I actually think the movie was way better. So if you don't enjoy the comic, I recommend checking out the movie. At number 9, we have Gary Duggan's Dead Eyes. And this is a story about a vigilante that has hemorrhoids, or at least that's how the story starts out. He's this killer anti-hero guy who basically retired, and now he's living at home dealing with ordinary crap. And he kind of gets sick of his life and needs to get more money, so he takes up this vigilante job again. This story has an interesting past. It first came out under the name Dead Rabbit, but I believe there was a restaurant or a restaurant chain named that. So they obviously didn't want this connecting with their restaurant. So they quit that run and they started to back up again as Dead Eyes. The guy that wrote this story, Gary Duggan, I met him at a convention. Really nice guy, pretty intimidating looking, but I walked up to him and he's super sweet guy. This is kind of his baby of a comic, so he really cares about this comic. He's putting all of himself into it. It's an ongoing series. So if you want to get into something that's still going, I would definitely recommend checking out Dead Eyes. At number 8 we have Sleeper. And this is a story about a guy that has the ability that whenever he feels pain, he can pass it off onto other people. So he could stick his finger in a light socket and poke you in the butt and zap you really hard, or he could cut off a pinky toe and I don't know if it grows back. I don't think it'll grow back, but he can touch you and your pinky toe will fall off also. So it's a pretty interesting power. He's a good guy that gets into this bad group and is kind of trying to get his way out. Really sad, dark story, but I definitely recommend it. I'm going to be recommending all of these. It's not a big shocker, but I would definitely... No, why am I saying it again? I would recommend this, okay? So check it out. Moving on. At number 7, we have Battle Pope. And this is a story about a fat pope who hooks up with a bunch of women and kills demons. More or less. Basically, this pope gets superpowers. He becomes best buddies with a stupid Jesus. God is watching over their whole story. Really interesting story, kind of a parody on religion in a way. So if you're into some dark humor, check this story out. At number 6, I have Deadly Class. And mainly I'm focusing on the anti-hero Marcus right here. And he's a character that is homeless and then he gets drafted by Hogwarts for assassins essentially. He wants to kill the president because the president led a bunch of insane people out of asylums and one of them jumped off a balcony and squashed his parents. There's really not that much to joke about in this story. I guess one funny part is there's a guy that likes to hook up with goats and other animals, so if you're into that, check out this story. He's definitely an anti-hero and he's being placed at my number 6 spot. At number 5, we have Jack from Jack of Fables. And this story follows Jack from every fairy tale ever that had Jack in its name. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack goes up a hill and gets a bucket from a well and falls down or something like that. Essentially this character has the goal of hooking up with a bunch of women and making a bunch of money.
Wow, winning!
But somehow he always ends up helping people throughout these stories. He's sort of a spin-off character from the series Fables, so if you like Jack of Fables, I recommend checking out Fables also. At number 4 we have Dylan from Kill or Be Killed. And this is really a dark, sad story. It follows a college student who tries to commit suicide and fails. And after he fails his suicide attempt, he thinks he sees this demon, and this demon tells him, every month you either need to kill someone or you're gonna die yourself. So he becomes a vigilante, killing sex offenders and gangs and a bunch of things. Really dark, sad story with a dark, sad end. But if you're into that kind of thing, I would definitely check out Kill or Be Killed. At number 3 we have Red Hood. And I specifically enjoyed Red Hood and the Outlaws, especially when Dexter Soy was the artist. But essentially this character is Jason Todd. And Jason Todd was the second Robin at one point. And he was kind of such a hated character that DC Comics put it to a vote on whether he should die or not. And a bunch of people hated him, kind of spam called in, so he ended up dying in the comics. He came back to life as this really badass character though. Essentially he's Batman in a way, really expert with weapons, guns, knives, but he doesn't have Batman's morals. He's really willing to kill anyone to make the world a better place. He partners up with Bizarro, who's essentially a dumb Superman, and then a badass sort of Wonder Woman character. I would definitely check out this story. He's definitely an anti-hero, and he's placed at number 3. At number 2, we have the 5th member of KISS. Eat your heart out, Gene Simmons. No, I'm just kidding. This is Venom, and he is a symbiote that takes over Eddie Brock. And Eddie Brock and Venom both have their reasons for hating Spider-Man in the beginning of this story. So their main goal initially is to kill Spider-Man. That would definitely make them a villain. But over the years, they kind of let go this blood feud that they have, and he becomes more of an anti-hero, pairing up with multiple superheroes to fight different bad guys. The current run of this by Donny Cates is amazing. He's definitely more of a hero now. He sees himself as more of an anti-hero, but right now they're about to fight, or they're preparing to fight this ultimate god of all symbiotes known as Null. So if you're interested in Venom, definitely check out the current run. At number 1, we have Negan from The Walking Dead. And he doesn't actually appear in this compendium. He appears in the 3rd compendium, or issue 100 of the series. And I would describe Negan as a gym teacher that hates children. Just like my gym teacher. He hated me. He hated us all.
You are a disgrace to fat, gelatinous, out-of-shape little kids the world over.
But unlike my gym teacher, this character actually develops. Negan owns a group of people, and he basically fights off all other groups that are around him, or forces them to give supplies to his group so his group can prosper. But after he's defeated by the main character of The Walking Dead, he's really humbled as a person. And you start to see his sad backstory and how he became the person that he was. He becomes a lovable anti-hero who kind of becomes best friends with the main character, and eventually, in a way, kind of becomes a good guy. This series has a great ending. You get to see how he develops all the way to the end. So if you're interested in anti-heroes, this is my strongest pick. And those are my top 10 comic book anti-heroes. If you like this video, be sure to drop a like. Or if you like my channel, subscribe so you can check out my other videos. Leave a comment also. Did you have a terrible gym teacher? Did your gym teacher lock you outside as you ran the mile? Did your gym teacher watch you do 100 sit-ups and tell you have terrible form? Either way, let me know. I'm Brock, the curly man behind Curly Man's Comics, signing off.